are live. It's good. Shout out to your man, DL Saint. Welcome. Really want to know podcast, man. How y'all doing out there? Happy hump day, man. It's Wednesday. Halfway through the week, guys. Yeah, halfway there. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope all is okay on your end. All is well on mine. I mean, as well as it's gonna be. I mean, let's just keep it real. Crazy times we're living in right now. Crazy. See what's going on with economy and all that. Big talk of the day is the Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve lowered the interest rates, the Fed rates, by 1.5% or 1%. So we'll be talking about that next week. I think next week we're just going to talk about money and finance and stuff like that all week long. We'll catch up on what Brother George Gammon is saying and what Sister Danielle DiMartino Booth is saying, and what the world is doing. Yeah, we'll talk about that next week. But today, we're going to talk about, will women share the right man? And I think you guys already know the answer to that. 100% absolutely, positively, yes, they will. Let's get into it. And we are live. What's good, y'all? Welcome to the I Really Want to Know podcast, y'all. Get some indeed. Man, oh man, I tell you what, I went outside for a few minutes to do something, bumped into a buddy, an associate. It was just outside talking here in Florida for about 30 minutes. Boy, that Florida sun ain't no joke, guys. I am like, whoo, boy. I had to turn on the ceiling fans and, crank the AC up a little bit, just coming back in the house. Man, it's hot outside. And it's under 90 degrees. So it's a mild day for Florida. I'm not complaining, just wow. Thanks for rocking out with me, guys. Hit that like and subscribe. Don't be afraid to share if you like this stuff, the stuff that we talk about. But I was watching the YouTube channel, and it's JR Wisdom, and this is a content creator. He's doing really good. He's coming up on close to 1 million subscribers. Shout out to him. And he is in Atlanta, black guy, and he kind of talks about dating dynamics with emphasis on the African American community. So we're going to talk about that. He has a video up talking about talking about women sharing men. Now, here's the thing, and people say, "Oh, it's just a red pill take." Like, this is just a reality take. Women will share a successful man, like a man who's like very, very successful. They will share that guy. They will share a guy who has like top tier game, and he's just kind of telling them what they want to hear, and he possesses certain qualities, not just money, but might be his fitness, might be his looks, might be his charisma, might whatever. It might be his sexual prowess, whatever. But they'll get a guy that they like, and they will share that dude. We're gonna get into that as well. Because a lot of people think, well, of course, if you got a lot of money, she's going to share you, da-da-da. There are guys out there, the Pookie and Ray Ray types that have absolutely nothing. And, and these women are paying for these dudes and supporting these dudes for a certain amount of time, and they're sharing the dude. So just so you guys know, there isn't one hard, fast rule. I just don't think that, in order to have multiple women knowingly share you, you have to be a multi-millionaire and, 7 feet, 2 inches tall, and you won the Heisman and all this. No. Nope. If a woman is into you, like really into you, and her emotions have locked on to you, yeah, bro. Yeah. She won't get rid of you if she catches you messing with other women. And if your game is top tier, you could tell her you messing with other women. You could tell her you're in the rotation. You're number one in the rotation. You get more, a couple extra perks and bonuses than these other women do, but she will absolutely consider that and do that. Some women will do it. They will do it. That's why I tell people don't lie about it. So Sister Michelle's in the building. What's good, sis? Good to see you. I'm so glad you're here. Appreciate you. And I appreciate all you guys who support me. Come over here. I always try to start on time. If I'm a couple minutes late, I'm always frustrated. Normally, I'm sitting in the chair at least 30 minutes before the show starts. But like I said, today I got held up a little bit. I was talking to someone and still got the show off the ground just a couple minutes behind. I just hate being late, guys. I really do. I want to lock it in here so you guys know Monday through Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Y'all know what it is. Sometimes I won't do a show, like things happen or whatever. Y'all get that. Life happens. You got to go out and do stuff. But like tomorrow's show might be early. I have some things going on in my daughter's school I have to attend to, which start at 4. Normally we're doing, I don't on Thursday, I don't have to get my daughter until like 7 p.m. because she has band practice. But there's something going on at the school, some sort of parent thing, so I have to be there. So we're gonna try to get it off the ground early tomorrow. So be looking for that. I'll put the thumbnail out as soon as I can, and it'll probably be 12 p.m. And then when I get back from the school thing, I'll probably jump on and we'll talk about Sean Combs. I haven't been talking about that. I wanted to get all the information and see what's going on. But I'm definitely going to talk about it because it's very interesting. Not surprising at all, but very interesting nonetheless. I think a lot of people will appreciate, some insight on what's going on with Sean Combs. Bro, yeah, that dude. We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. So yeah, let's get into it. Women sharing men. So JR Wisdom has his video. It's not a long video, it's about 9 minutes long. But man, oh man, he's dropping some gems, and I just kind of want to add my 2 cents to what he is talking about in this video. And again, this is from the perspective of a black guy, and we're talking about dating in the African American world or the black world. That's pretty much his lane. That's where he is. Like I said, he has almost 1 million subscribers. The link is in the description below. Please go over there, check him out, man. Like and subscribe over there. Help him get to 1 million subscribers. And it's funny when you hear women talk about this stuff, bro. What women say in public and what women say around their friends versus what they're really going to do, 2 different things. 2 different things. So, guys, I got to remember that when you're out here, figuring it out, trying to level up, trying to be seen, you're going from being invisible to being visible. You need to understand women, when it comes to this dating thing, often say one thing and mean another, and that goes for so many facets within the dating world. But you're really going to come across a woman who's going to say, "Yes, I am okay with sharing you with all of her friends and the whole world watching." She's going to be, "Oh my God, I can't believe you doing this," and blah, 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 whatever. But when it's just you and her sitting there and she's faced with the reality that she has to agree to these terms or she can't see you, more often than not, they will agree to those terms. Sometimes they might add a couple terms to it. They might have their own conditions, like, okay, I want to do it. And normally those conditions are, I don't ever want to see anyone. I don't want anybody calling me, looking me up, talking to me about it. I don't want to get anything. Like, don't bring nothing back to me, including babies. They might tack that in there, but that should be a part of the original deal. Sometimes women, that other person, even though they have no leverage, they have to feel like they have some sort of leverage, right? So they're going to come up with these terms to say what they got to say, but at the end of the day, they're going to more than likely agree to share you. But like I said, it's got to be something about you that they really dig. It doesn't have to just be money or whatever, but it's got to be something. So you can be a dude who average financially, you out here just making $60,000-$70,000 a year or less, but your game is on point, your fitness is there, like your social status is up there, or whatever. You just got a really good game, and she just falls for you, bro. I'm telling you, be upfront with her. You'd be surprised. A lot of them will say, yeah. Even the ones that say no initially, they might come back. They'll circle back to you. So just get that in there, bro. Get that in there, brother. Pitney in the building. What's good, fam? Appreciate that, bro. Yeah, another 5-star stream by Uncle Saint. Let's go. Appreciate you, bro. I really do. Shout out to the Castle Club Tampa members, bro. We met up last night here in Tampa. Some brothers came up from as far away as Orlando and down south. I think the Fort Myers, St. Pete area, or Fort Myers area, or I can't remember the other place. Whatever, a couple hours away. We had a brother drive at least 2 hours. Another brother drove over an hour to get here. Man, it was good times. to be able to sit there and just fellowship with brothers was a good time, man. So appreciate y'all, man. Shout out to y'all. I'll jump in the chat. I gotta jump in there chatting, you know what I mean, follow up, let everybody know it was a good time. I was able to come catch up with them. We had a good time. Shout out to West, the general in Tampa, taking care of business. That's AKA Colonel Sanders. Um, so yeah, that was a good time last night. That was fun. We're definitely going to be doing more meetups here in Florida, and we have meetups in our groups all over the country. Charlotte and Atlanta are working on a big meetup, a joint meetup right now. New York, Boston, uh, you know, we got Cleveland, Dallas, Houston, LA, Seattle. I mean, even in Tokyo. You know, it's a handful of guys, a handful of brothers over in Tokyo, but they're meeting up. So keep it going. You know, the UK brothers are doing their thing. Australia's doing their thing. Canada's doing their thing, man. Toronto doing a good job up there. So just keep it going, guys. Keep it going. Shout out to y'all. But it's really good to come together. It's really good for men to come together and have the opportunity to just share experiences, share stories, you know, give advice, receive advice, and just help them figure it out. Especially the younger dudes who can talk to the guys who've been down this road. Hey, you know, I'm doing this. What do you think? I was talking to a brother last night. He had a lot of questions about a bunch of different things. And we were able to kind of walk through it. Like, hey, man, this is where I think, you know, well, I got this and this is going on and blah, blah, blah. And I gave him my take on that. I'm like, well, why are you trying to deal with that when you can just go ahead and find everything you want in a woman who's already, you know, she's already got that. Why are you teaching a grown up basics when you can find that grown up who has those basic skills already? You should be trying to teach advanced stuff, not basic stuff. And you sat there and thought about it, like, oh man, you're right. I'm like, bro, just get out there. So good times, man. Appreciate you boys, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Don DeMarco, the Castle Club City Groups. Don DeMarco. You know, we got Joe Cool in the building, man. What's good, fam? Good to see you. How you feeling, bro? Checking in from the Chicago area, man, making things happen, man. So appreciate y'all. So let's get into it, man. Let's watch this video. Like I said, it's not that long. It's about a 9-minute video. But man, they touch on some really good stuff that we can drill down on and dig down on. And guys, I want you to pay attention to things, bro. Like just really pay attention to the fact that, yeah, man, women will share you. Like it is what it is. You have to be of a certain value. That's not attached just to your money or just to your height or physicality or just to this or just to that. You know, if she's into you, bro, I'm telling you, she will. She will. But you must be upfront about it, in my opinion. But let's hear what Brother JR Wisdom has to say about this.
Here in Atlanta, the girlies are the ones who approach the men.
Wait.
The men, no.
Wait.
I'm telling you.
The girls are moving to the boys here?
Yes. And they won't say it. They don't want to come out and say it, but they do. The men here are they're just so spoiled. They are spoiled. All the girls are sharing the same man. All the girlies here, they're dating the same 3 Africans. Africans are a big thing here.
Really?
Yes.
Like Portia Williams, the African.
Oh my God, they want that. And then if it's not the Africans, and yes, it has to be like the athletes. Everybody's a money guy now, entrepreneur, an investor now. Everybody's that in Atlanta, which I don't get. But I don't know what y'all be investing in. But yeah, be careful. Here, I just feel like the dating scene really, really caters to the men. The men don't really court. It's really weird to watch. And then it's weird to see like the women, how they will beat each other's wigs off over these dudes.
Wigs. So funny. So before Brother JR gets to saying what he's going to say, and he's dropping some wisdom. This brother's on point. There's a few things I want to point out about Atlanta. Like, you know, y'all know Uncle Saint's old, man. I'm in my 50s. Atlanta's always been a good place to go meet women, especially black women. And I'm talking exclusively black women, right? Because when I was younger, I didn't really rock with anything else. I was just only talking to sisters. I was in my community only. This is when I was a teenager and into a young man. I didn't start really, you know, getting out there and just, you know, breaching all the different communities, all the different races until I was grown. Like I was well into my 20s by then. But when I was younger, I was just, you know, like everybody else, man. You just stay in your lane. Going to Atlanta was a come up. And I'm talking back in the 80s, the mid 80s into the 90s. Going to Atlanta was a come up. The women in Atlanta, the black women in Atlanta particularly, were still very feminine, and they were raised to be that way. They all knew how to cook. They were all about cleaning. They were all feminine. They, you know, from young girls all the way up to grown women, they would look a certain way. They carried themselves a certain way. It wasn't a whole lot of ghetto women. I mean, there were, but the ghetto women were frowned upon. right? They were frowned upon. I mean, if you were, the grown ups they would shun you and they would shame you. So that is what Atlanta was like. And then when you move into the 90s, like, so you always, like, once you got into the 90s and a lot of guys were like falling prey to the drug game and all that kind of stuff. And then it's like anything else. The dudes who rise to the top, they had all these options. One of the big things in Atlanta, this was Atlanta and DC, there were so many beautiful women, so many beautiful black women, so many successful, beautiful, feminine black women, right? They were beginning to take on these alpha traits because they were in the corporate world now. And the dudes, there was a lot of guys down there, but a lot of those guys were gay. There were a lot of guys down there who were experimenting or whatever. They were alternative, like they were, what I guess you would call them queer now, bi or whatever you want to call them. And the term that was used back then was down low. I remember the first time I heard that, down low. It was in the early 90s. Like, down low, what does that mean? And they were referring to these guys. Like, there would be guys that were in the closet, basically closeted, gay dudes, or they were experimenting with that lifestyle, but they were still out there chasing women. And then you would think, like, oh, you'd be able to pick them guys out easily. Those guys who acting a little sassy or whatever, right? And the women, the sisters down there, are like, nah, you would never know. Like, we're talking about dudes that have full blown families. They're in the church heavy. You know what I mean? They're masculine men. They that's how they present. They got themselves together. And sure enough, they got their wife, they got a couple girlfriends, and then they got some boyfriends. No, like, yes. I'm like, well, just mess with the thugs then. They're like, the thugs are down low too. So, when you think about all that time, when Atlanta blew up, musically and all that, they're like, man, and I can testify to that. I remember once, this was in the early 90s, I was in Atlanta. Was this the early 90s? This was the late 90s. I was in Atlanta. I was downtown Atlanta I was on Peachtree walking. I had just left I bought some shirts or whatever. And I was walking to the hotel. I was staying at the Doubletree, I think it was. Oh, I was the St. Regis. I was walking to the hotel and some dude pulled up. Right. And the guy pulled up and I could hear him saying something to me. Like, the window was down. This was like a regular looking dude. He just pulled up in a regular whip, like a Honda or something like that. The window was down. Dude was saying something to me. So I get closer to the car to try to figure out, maybe the dude's asked me for directions or whatever, or, I don't know what it is. So I get closer to the car, man, come to find out this dude is trying to talk to me. This dude's trying to holler, holler, holler. You feel me? And when I realized what was going on, he saw the look in my eyes and he just smashed out like burning rubber. He was gone because he saw the look in my eyes. And it was like, I'm saying, I was ready. Like, it was finna go down, not the way he was hoping. So this dude, obviously gay, hitting on me, thinking I was gay. That's how prevalent it was. And that's when my eyes opened up to the whole thing. Cause I mean, these women been telling me about down low cats. I didn't know it was like that. And yes, in fact, yes, that's how it is. Like, wow. So that was Atlanta. So think about that. You got all these women, these beautiful women looking for masculine men in this city, very progressive city. These women are doing well. So, the hypergamy is starting to kick in. They're like, oh, I'm looking for, a higher status guy. So these women are dealing with hypergamy. They're dealing with the competition of all the other women. And they're dealing with the fact that they got to weed out who these gay dudes are. And mind you, this was all during the HIV epidemic thing. So it was dangerous to choose the wrong dude. You could get something. And there was no cure back then. So, like, bro, you can get something and wind up in the forever box. So it was tough for sisters. And Atlanta had always been friendly because it's the South. So they always had that Southern hospitality. And like back up until, this was, like I said, like into the early 90s and stuff like that. Women were raised to be polite and all that. Bro, it was easy to talk to sisters back then. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. And like old girl was saying, women would come up and talk to you. They always been coming up to talk to you. That's always been the thing in Atlanta. They'll come up and ask you how you doing, how your mama doing. That was just a thing. And if they liked you, yeah, they had no problem starting up a conversation. How you doing? You don't look like you from around here, and they just start talking to you, whatever. That's always been the case in Atlanta. That's been the case in DC for as long as I can remember. Going back to the 80s. And of course, that's just anecdotal. I don't have any documentation on that, but talk to any old head to travel, man. They'll tell you, like, yeah, Atlanta was always that. And Atlanta was the place that people like from all over, black folks from all over, like, hey, man, go to the South in particular, Atlanta, get you a Southern belle, man, get you a good wife. That's where the good women are. That was the case. That's no longer the case now, but that was the case back then. Go on down there, get you a Southern belle. Go on down to Atlanta. You know what I mean? You can go to Georgia, get you a good woman, the Carolinas, North and South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi. Like, go to those places and you can find yourself, you know what I mean, like a real one. So, and again, we're talking about the black community. But the download thing was crazy. So women have always been talking to dudes. Now they're in a situation where they still got to deal with the download stuff. They got to weed these guys out. But I think it's more hypergamy than anything else. They want to go after the top tier guy. They want to go after the highest value man that they can get. All the women are doing it. And you got to understand this about Atlanta now. There's so many transplants to Atlanta. So it's not even like now when you go to Atlanta, it's like going to LA. It's hard to find someone who was born and raised there. There's so many transplants there. So it's that whole Southern hospitality, that whole feminine Southern belle, that charm is gone. Because you got people down there from Michigan, you got people down there from Pennsylvania, Ohio, Illinois, like, you know, they're coming from all these places, bro. They're coming from Chicago, they're coming from Cincinnati, they're coming from Cleveland, they're coming from Detroit, they're coming from Flint, right? They're coming from Philly, they're coming from everywhere going down to Atlanta, just like everyone goes to LA, you feel me, if they want to be an actor. So that part, as far as women talking to dudes and that, you know, fighting over dudes, yeah, it's always been the case because these guys are down there just running their game. Because again, they got options. So I just wanted to bring you guys up to speed on that about Georgia, especially the download thing about the gay men. Like a lot of undercover, closeted gay black men in Atlanta. I think that's still the case today. I haven't been to Atlanta in a long time. I can't remember the last time I went to Atlanta just kicking it and stuff like that. Generally, when I go through Atlanta, it's for business. I do what I got to do when I leave, or I'm going to see family. And that's out there outside the Beltway, so it's kind of outside the city in the burbs. So I haven't really kicked it. But I remember the days when we were going down for Freaknik. I remember the days we were going down just to kick it, hanging out at the colleges and stuff like that. I was much younger back then. Bro, the women had no problem coming up to talk to you. And when we came down, like dudes coming down from different cities, we were gunning. Like, hey, what's good? Hey, how you doing? How you doing? So when we went to go talk to them and they heard we had no accent, bro, they was honest. It was easy to talk to women. It was easy to bag women or get bagged. Like I told you before, women choose. They know who they want the minute they lay eyes on you, pretty much. So it's just a matter of you not putting your foot in your mouth. And add to the fact that they're confident that you're not a gay dude or you're not kind of gay or you're not, you know, bi or whatever. Bro, as soon as they realize that, they're trying to lock you in. And when you talk to women who like deal with Atlanta, like live in Atlanta, work in Atlanta, or even DC, these women to tell you, like, yeah, you got to share a guy. I mean, that conversation's been going on for a good 20, 25 years. Like, you have to share a dude. Women to see a guy, like in DC, now we're talking about DC, black women to see a dude and will gun at him knowing he's in a relationship. Like, I know you're in a relationship. They'll tell you, like, you ain't even got to lie to me. I know you're in a relationship. I'm okay with it. That's been going on for at least 20, 25 years. Right? So, you know, like this whole red pill stuff, like, bro, and I'm talking about the black community. Come on now. That's always been the thing. I don't know where the disconnect is. I don't know why the younger women don't know this or they haven't been talking to their aunts, their moms. I don't know why. But this is a given. Atlanta and DC, especially. LA, same thing. You want to go holler at the sister in LA, man, you go south of the 10, you go down to the hood, like even where like affluent blacks are, you're away from the Hollywood stuff, man. Like you go down south of the 10, and bro, you can find all kind of sisters. They're gonna want to talk to you. Now out there is more of a gangbanging thing. They're trying to stay away from thugs, but everyone's affiliated to some extent, right? But yeah, you can get your sister out there, and guess what? Those women understand it too. Like, I'm dealing with a guy, he's making $300,000 a year. He's working in the industry. That this dude is up here living in Bel Air. This dude is living in Studio City. Yeah, she knows that he has options. Yeah, more than likely he's messing around with someone. The thing is, in LA, man, they ain't got a problem lying to you. So they lie to these chicks all day. And these women, they believe the lie. They're like, whatever. But they know in the back of their head, like, yeah, he's rocking whatever he wants to rock. So I just want to put all that out there, yo. Yeah, I mean, like Joe, he's like, yeah, Atlanta's the black mecca. It's the mecca of black women coming from Joe Cool. Y'all know what it is. DC, Chocolate City. When it comes to black culture, bro, DC and Atlanta can't go wrong. You know, you look at Philly, um, you got that, but Atlanta's, for us old heads, Atlanta was always the mecca, and DC is like a close second, in my opinion. And now we throw LA in there. Old Joe's in the building. What's good, fam? Yeah, it's like, yeah, women will share the right man. I know that for sure. That is it, bro. Bro, it is what it is. But let's continue. Let's hear what Brother JR has to say.
She ain't lying, folks. I just got here. Y'all see the beautiful Atlanta in the background here, Buckhead to be specific, Lenox Mall in the background here. Well, sort of. Got Saks Fifth Ave right there. But listen, guys, if you are having issues with dating guys outside of being a passport bro, come to Atlanta. The women are friendlier, they're more humble. I use that term lightly, right? But then you have options. And when you have options, she's saying like about this African thing, but you're just not pressed at the end of the day. When you have women that'll either approach you or just be willing to talk to you. That's why every woman since I've been here and I asked her, what does she think about dating? Which I got the podcast coming soon as well for you guys. All the ladies say it's trash. Every woman around here say it's trash. I don't date in the city. I don't date anybody here. It's trash. Dudes got multiple women, so on and so forth. But
So why do they say that? It's trash. They're saying that because they have no advantage. That's why. It's trash because they got to work at it. It's like dudes got to work at it. Right? Brother JR ain't lying. Like when you go to Atlanta, again, we're talking about the black community in particular here. They are definitely playing fair. You guys have heard me use that term before. Like, yo, Unc, what do you mean they playing fair? When I go to Miami, all the women I bump into in Miami, they playing fair. I don't even like Miami Beach, like South Beach. I don't even like going to places like Live, Fountain Blue, you know what I mean, the high-end joints. But even when I go there, bro, the women are playing fair. They'll talk to you. If you walk up and you can hold a conversation, you can break the ice, you sound like you got something on your mind. That's what my father used to say. You ain't some dumb Pookie Ray Ray type dude or whatever, some weirdo. She'll talk to you. She'll talk to you. Even if she has a dude, she will entertain you for that moment, for that conversation. You don't have to buy her a drink. She's not going to ask you to buy her a drink. If you got something to say that makes sense, she's going to holler at you. And she's probably got a boyfriend, no doubt about it. If she don't have a boyfriend, she's in some sort of relationship. She's got a couple guys, and she's sitting there entertaining you because she might put you in her rotation. Right? That's playing fair. When women will actually talk to you. Now, Brickell's a little more difficult now. I mean, there's so many more transplants down there. So you got women come from LA, coming from New York, coming from these places where they're used to being snooty and having an advantage. So they're bringing that down to Brickell. And then they're getting tired of people shoving cameras in their faces, and they're getting tired of the pickup artists and all that kind of stuff, because these women can figure it out pretty quick. Like, yeah, this guy's probably got a camera somewhere and he's trying to do this for a YouTube or whatever, because all these YouTubers are down there. But if you're just in a normal situation, talking to a normal woman, no cameras, no bullshit, she's gonna entertain you. She's gonna listen to you. They're playing fair. You could be walking down the street. I tell you guys all the time, I'm walking around Brickell, just hanging out, and you know how someone's walking the opposite way. You walking down the street, they're walking down the street. So you move this way, they move that. You guys keep coming towards each other, but you keep trying to make room for the other person, but you keep going the same way. I was doing that with this woman. I'm trying to move to the left, and she moves to her right. So we kind of doing this thing, and it turns into a game within moments. Now she's smiling and she's jumping around like a football player. We're virtually face to face at this point, right? She's playing fair. Same situation happens in LA, and the girl has an attitude problem. Her face is all turned up, and she's giving you these horrible vibes, right? That's the norm in Cali. But in Miami, in Atlanta, in DC, you get a moment like that, it becomes a playful moment. And this woman in particular, man, she was fine, like a 7.5. Looking good. You could tell she was, either working, maybe she was on lunch or, going somewhere. Dressed nice, looking good, basic, not too much makeup. Very attractive woman. We had fun. We were both smiling. We had a good moment. I was like, oh, thank you for that. I was like, I appreciate you. Thank you for that moment. She's like, oh, you're welcome. And she went on about her business. I went on about mine. I know you guys like, why don't you get her number? Why don't you get her information? Didn't want it. You know what I mean? Sometimes for me, the moment is better. It's untainted. It was pure. I don't even want to get into the rest of it. That's cool. If I bump into her one day and she brings it up, let's say we go somewhere, say, hey, you're the guy We had that moment, remember? And that one on South Miami, we almost walked into each other. Oh, damn, that's what's up. What's your name? Up at that point, maybe we can do it, but I didn't want to spoil that moment, right? That was me. That's me now as an older guy. If I was in my 20s, absolutely, I would have got her information. Girl, give me your number. We moving back and forth. You might as well come dancing with me, girl. Give me your number. Let's go dance tonight. I definitely would have got her information. But older me, nah. But that's what I mean by playing fair. The women in Atlanta, the black women, when it comes to black men, they're playing fair, right? The women, all the women, the Latino women, the Russian women, the Haitian women, all the women, the Cuban women in the Miami area, they're playing fair. And the same in DC. All the women in DC are playing fair. LA, New York, San Diego, San Francisco, Vegas, depends on who you run into, depends on where you at. It takes a little bit more work to get them because they have the advantage. They have the numbers, right? And they know what they want. So, but these other places, they don't have the advantage. So that's why the women in Atlanta are saying dating sucks, because they got to work at it. They have no real advantage. If anything, they're at a disadvantage. So they don't like that. That's why it sucks.
Let's get on to the next clip where she shares her story. Let's go.
Hey, y'all. I'm going to do a story time with dating in Atlanta. As you guys know, I am a newly single woman. I have been single since last year, September, coming out of a relationship for 4 years. And I found out he was a narcissist, but that's another story.
She was one too.
Going on dates here in Atlanta. And when I tell you guys, it is so creepy out here in this dating scene. Let me start off with the first guy I started dating. We had went on a couple of dates with each other. The vibe was there. We're texting. I met him at a chicken wings place I was walking out of. Come to find out, this man was in a whole relationship. And he told me that his girlfriend was okay with him seeing other women because she realized one woman could not be enough for him. Now, as you guys know, I am not sharing my man. We had never slept together. We were vibing. The lust was there. And I love that he was such a great entrepreneur. But I'm not finna date a man that another woman is already accounted for.
All right. So y'all hearing all this, right? She said she's out of a relationship. She's coming out of the chicken wing spot. She bumps into a dude. Now I guarantee you this. She doesn't sound like a woman who was born and raised a native, woman from the ATL. She doesn't sound like a Southern Peach or Southern Belle. She doesn't sound like it. So dude had to say something to her. So what does that tell you? That tells you up front, he's running numbers. He ain't like Uncle Saint. He ain't letting any of them go. He's running numbers. You see this woman, you can tell she's probably thicker, sister. He's like, okay, cool. What's up with you? She's digging him. So he has the looks. He's probably wearing the gear, right? He has the game. Entrepreneur, right? She's like, and they went out a couple times. She's like, yeah, we went out and we didn't have sex. I believe that part. He was ready to drop. He was waiting to drop the boom. Guarantee you, he was on that 3-day rule or maybe 5-day rule, right? So, and you guys know what I mean by that. It's not 3 days. It's like the first 3 encounters, the first 3 times y'all get together, the first 5 times, dudes have some sort of limit. Guys are out here running in the streets. They're only going to give you attention for so much time before, you not have to, but they're trying to get the sex. They're trying to hit. Once they get to Foxy Brown, you get more attention. They're gonna show you a lifestyle. They're gonna talk their game, get into your head, and then within the first 3 encounters, maybe the first 5 encounters, whatever, if you haven't smashed, then he's gonna move on to the next one. You're not gonna get any more attention. And what that does is that have the woman will just be blowing up, texting you, trying to find out what's going on, and he's just kind of like, wait till I circle back. I ain't tripping, because he has the advantage. He has a girlfriend. They have they have the understanding. Dude already told her, like, the girlfriend, this is what I'm gonna do. Take it or leave it. Girls, it's cool. Do you. Make sure you come home. So the guy is working from a place of advantage. He has the high ground, so to speak. He has all the leverage. So he's talking to this chick, and she was like, all the lust was there. I was feeling it. We are vibing. He's an entrepreneur, right? In a little bit, she's gonna tell you she's a single mom. So here's the deal. It's like, I'm not going to share my man. Bullshit. If this dude is really chipped up like that, which he probably isn't, he's probably making more, he's probably doing better financially than the average dude. He's probably doing better than the average dude, but I don't think he is out there making big money. But let's say he really was making big money. She's saying, I ain't going to do nothing with this guy. Okay. Let me paint a picture. If dude's a real big boy, right? And he says, hey, what are you doing on Saturday? Can you free up your schedule? You know, we spend the day on Friday. We're going to need at least 8 hours. You know, I got some things going on. I want you to come with me. And if she says, yes, I'm going to do it. Of course, she's going to have to get a babysitter and all that. You know what I mean? Like, make sure you at least 8 hours. She's going to make sure she clears her whole day. Because when women want to dig, when they dig, this is what they do. She'll clear her whole day. Dude picks her up. Let's say this is just a scenario. Let's say dude picks her up. They go to the airport. They go to Peachtree, the cab airport. They don't go to Hartsfield. They don't go to the big airport. They go to a small general aviation airport. Pull up, parks the car, get out, right? They jump on his buddy's Pilatus, which is like it's a jet with it's a turboprop. It's basically a jet with a propeller engine. Really nice airplane, really good regional airplane. They jump on the plane. They fly from Atlanta to Charlotte, where he conducts some business, has her sitting right there. Like, you know, it's like a very loose meetup business thing. They're having lunch or whatever. He conducts business, and then he takes her to maybe some event where they go and watch some music or something like that. And then they jump back on the Pilatus, fly back to Atlanta, where he takes her somewhere where they have like nightcaps, like drinks and desserts or whatever, or maybe get an early dinner. Hey, at the end of that, you don't think she's gonna smash? I guarantee you she's gonna smash. Boy, she'll barely make it off the plane. I guarantee she's gonna want to go ahead, give him the Foxy Brown. Guaranteed. Right. And at that point, she won't even care if he's married or in a long-term relationship. Talking about, I ain't gonna share my man. She would. Because once you get to that level where you're flying around in, you know, privately owned airplanes, nice aircraft, meeting up with the 1%, stop it. This is what I mean. She's saying all this stuff online, but in real life, if she came across that dude, come on now, she will 100% engage with that guy, and she will share that guy. If he's running a five-woman rotation, she'll take her slot. And if she's number 5, she'll be happy to get the number 5 slot. Come on now, if you're dealing with a guy who could do all that, come on. What? I'm not going to share my man. Okay. You know what I mean? Okay, Brother Mangel's in the building. Okay. I don't believe that for a hot second. You know what I mean? Dr. B is in the building. What's good, man? Men have too many dating options. Does she mean celebrity men? Nah, man. She's talking about just in Atlanta right now, bro. In Atlanta right now, when you know, once you correct for women, for dudes there are dudes out there who won't cheat. They're happily married and they don't want any extra. When you separate those guys and the old guys, and then you separate the gay dudes and you separate the down low dudes, there's not a whole lot of guys left. And those guys have a lot of options because the women understand, like, bro, it's hard to find this dude. Like, he's straight, right? He's not down low. He doesn't have that checkered past, right? He's working. He has his own place. Bro, that's it. That's top tier. You're already top tier right there. I mean, that's it. Whereas in Atlanta, whereas in, you know, New York, DC, Dallas, Houston, it might be a couple extra steps. But in Atlanta and Dallas, and I keep messing up my cities. In Atlanta and in DC, women are like, just give me a dude who ain't gay, who ain't down low. I'll work with the rest. Get me a dude that can hold a conversation. Give me a dude who's working. I'll handle the rest. And like I said, these women, especially in DC, these women to tell you off camera now, they'll tell you like, yeah, I don't have a problem sharing these dudes. They're hard to find. Let's keep going.
Okay. Then you want me to give you all this time, not talk to nobody else, but you already have a girlfriend. And I literally, the last time I hung out with him, once I found out he had a girlfriend, I was so turned off. I texted him a long message and told him it's not going to work because I can't date somebody that's already accounted for. When I tell you guys, he was so pissed and he was like, I thought we were vibing. You're sitting here worried about another woman, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So that was number one. Number 2, I met a guy at a kid park with my daughter and he was there with his kids. So of course he got kids. I know you got a girlfriend. I'm not a girlfriend, a baby mother or an ex-wife. I don't ask that because I'm like, you know what? We're going to meet. We go out to eat. First date, he tells me he's married and that his wife is allowing him to have an open relationship with her where she can date other women and he can date other women.
That man did not ask his wife for permission. That man told his wife, if you marry me, this is what's going to happen. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. That little shorty's changing things up, right? She's a single mom. She meets a dude. You see how thirsty she is to find guys. She is really on the hunt for a dude. This is why she doesn't like the dating marketplace in Atlanta, because she has no leverage. None. These dudes are out here doing their thing. And there's a lot of women out there who are willing to work with these guys on the terms that these guys set forth. That guy did not ask his wife for permission. That guy told his wife, probably before they got married, if you're going to be with me, this is how it's going to go. I guarantee that's how that went down. And she said, fine. And they got into the relationship. And then he proposed to her and said, it's still a thing. You're number one, but I'm going to go out here and do my thing when I want to. And if I catch you cheating, you gone. So that's a dude. That's probably a dude with some fairly high status. So she, but look how thirsty little shorty is. Now, this woman could go to another city and the dating game would be a little different. Maybe she'll like it, maybe she'll like her odds better in New York, or maybe she'll like her, maybe she'll have better odds, or she'll like the way the game is stacked in her favor in Vegas or San Diego or San Francisco, maybe. But she really doesn't like the way it's working in Atlanta.
She doesn't want to date other men. What sense does that make? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm eating. But that didn't even make sense to me. I didn't say shit while we were on the date because I wanted to get my food paid for and I didn't have to pay for my food. And I don't usually do that, but I just was not in the mood to pay for that lunch.
I don't usually do that.
Because I really wanted to be there in the first place. But he texted me after the day. I have not responded. And I'm going to text him today and let him know I thought about it, but I don't want to date nobody's husband. It is scary out here, y'all. Like, I am so new to this dating scene. I don't know how y'all been going through this, because this made me not want to date anybody and just be celibate. These men are in relationships or they have a girlfriend. Like, what the fuck? My friend was like, going forward, I need to ask them the first time they try to talk to me, are you in a relationship? Are you married? That needs to be the first thing I ask them. And I'm like, damn, like, I would assume if they're trying to talk to me, I wouldn't have to ask that.
Little shorty wants to be lied to. There are a lot of women that want to be lied to, bro. She was one of them. She wants to be lied to. Like, just lie to me. There are a lot of guys out there who go out there and they will lie. I don't subscribe to that. If you want to do it, my man Jay Swan's just like, hey, bro, it is what it is. If you ain't married, if you out there in the streets, if you doing that, bro, then, sell them the dream. I've never done that. But there are guys who are out there like, yeah, they got no problem lying. Again, it's all fair in love and war, right? If the two dudes that she was talking about lied to her, she would have smashed them both. She would have gotten into relationships or whatever. She would have eventually figured it out. It would have blown up in her face. She would have got mad, but she would have got over it. And those guys would have still had their significant others, their wife or long-term girlfriend or whatever. She just wants to be lied to. Right? When you lie, people buy. When you lie, women buy. So, let's hear what Brother JR has to say about all this.
A lot of women are asking that though. But she said a relationship and or got somebody or whatever. My thing is, this goes for women too. How often, and I realized this in my early 20s, how often do you meet someone that is completely single, that's not actively communicating with someone, that's not texting, that's not smashing, things like that? But again, women will tell you, every single woman you come across, every single woman you meet, she's been celibate for years. She hasn't dealt with a man in years. She's been single. It's all about her. And if she's got kids, her and her kids, raising that, she don't have time for men. You the first man that she's come across or that has come across her that she's given a chance to. But the funny thing is, women like men who have options. They like there's a lot of women who like men who are already in relationships. They like the soap opera concept. GR, don't speak for all women. Don't say all women, GR. That's not true. Whatever, man. You do. You like guys who are married. You prefer to be side chicks. It's just it's not just one of those things. It's more than one of those things.
He has a point. He brings up a really good point. He's saying all women. I believe he's talking about all women who are out here on the hunt. There are women out here who like the sister that was just talking, who are out here looking for dudes. When they go in and out of restaurants, when they're walking down the street, when they're at work, when they're, at a social event, they are looking for dudes. Those women do want men that other women want or other women already have. They want that. That's real talk. Now, the women who won't play those games, those women don't go out. Those women ain't looking for this. Those women don't engage. They don't do it. You don't see them like that. You might see them walking around because as men, we see everyone, unlike women. Women only see certain dudes, but men normally see everyone. You might see them out, but they're not going to chat you up. They're not going to, I mean, bro, they're going to tell you right away they're married. They say, hey, bye, I got to go. They're not going to engage one iota. They're not going to do it. They're happy. They're in a situation. 7 times out of 10, their husband is right there. Anyway, they don't really go in social situations without their husbands. They don't want to go out without their husbands. Right? We're not talking about the women who want girls' night out. We're not talking about the girls' trip girl, woman. We're talking about the women who get in relationships and they're happy. Those women, they ain't out there like that, bro. They simply aren't out there like that. So when some of us will say like, well, all women, and I can't speak for Brother JR, but all the women that I come across when I'm out in the trenches, all those women, yeah, they want a dude that's in a relationship. You want to play dirty. You want to get out there and you want the cheat code. Put a wedding ring on. Put a ring on your left finger. Put a ring on this finger and go out. Don't say nothing to nobody. Don't say nothing to nobody. Just go out and watch how many women come up and holler at you, bro. Come up and holler at you. Put a ring on your finger. I used to walk around with rings on these 4 fingers. Like I got this one on now. I got 4 rings, 2 pinky rings and then 2 for the ring fingers. And I would just wear them. Sometimes I put them on. I was like just trying to different looks or whatever. I was just putting the rings on. And, I noticed that I had, just making up numbers, maybe 20, 25% more women approached me when I had a ring on my ring finger. And these rings look like wedding bands. And they're just rings, right? I never really thought about it. I stopped wearing them. I stopped wearing a ring on my ring finger. And I'm telling you, at least 25% more women came to holler at me. And most of the women that stepped up to talk to me were married. Right? If you're in a cigar bar or whatever, you got a wedding ring on, they're gonna holler at you. If you're in a lounge situation, or the hotel bars and restaurants were big. If you're sitting at the bar in a hotel, or I was where was I? Ocean's Prime, a pretty nice steakhouse. It's a chain, but it's the upper scale chain. I will go there, sit at the bar with the rings on. I would have 2 rings on his fingers. It was just with the outfit I was wearing, it's like accessories. And I'm like, damn, it's a lot of women trying to holler at me, looking over, coming over, asking questions, wanting me to join their conversation. And it didn't click right away. I'm like, oh, they think I'm married. There are a lot of women who want that, bro. He is not lying, right? He is not lying. Brother Grills in the building. Was good, fam. It's true. If they rock with you heavy, they will share you. They will share. Granted, you have to accept that most women are going to be prideful, of possessive to where they don't want to do it. Right. But like I said, women say one thing and do another. The women who say the most about I'm not going to share, those are the women who are out there doing it. Even Brother Jose, what's good, fam? I ain't seen you in a minute. Good to see you. He's screaming facts. Facts. So there you have it, fellas. You want a cheat code? You want to go out there and try to maximize? Put a ring on your finger. Put a wedding band on and go out. You ain't got to say you're married. You ain't got to say you're not married. Just put it on. I had a back and forth with someone. I'm like, it's my hands. I could put a ring on any finger I want. But they kept saying, well, it's just, I think I was talking to one of my homeboys. And they're like, nah, man, it's just a bad look. What you mean bad luck, bro? Ain't no rules to this. Right. And it did it brought a lot of attention. And I wasn't trying to smash like that. But if I were just trying to run up numbers, keep that ring on your finger, man. Keep it on. Let's see what Brother JR has to say.
That drama, that not knowing, that roller coaster, that lack of commitment, you can rock with. You would prefer that. The fact that, if a man, he's being, at least these guys are being honest with you. I wouldn't say be nefarious as a dude, but I wouldn't confess any of that to you until after I smashed.
See?
But hey, some people say you shouldn't lie. Man, people lie all the time. Women lie all the time. You say what you got to say to kind of get the buns, and then you reveal everything afterwards. Now, if it's something that's going to affect someone's health, I definitely don't agree with that. If you know you have something and you could potentially pass it on to this person, you should let them know. Or if you know they want to have kids or something like that, and you know you can't have kids, you definitely need to let them know. But
So I'm 50% with what he's saying. Like, first of all, I don't lie. If I'm running game, I'm running game. I'm not gonna lie. Ask me no questions, I tell you no lies. So if I'm talking to a woman, and she's chosen you, she wants to sleep with you, bro, she's gonna do that. She's gonna do it. Unless you say something or do something to mess that up, she's gonna do that. I have been with women who wanted that, they wanted to hear that lie before they gave up to Foxy Brown. I never did that. I've been with my share of women who just wanted me to lie to them. Tell me you love me type shit, or say this, say that. No. And they, I had one woman who was like, well, I'm not having sex with a guy unless we're in a relationship. We have to be. So tell me we're in a committed relationship and we can do this. And I'm saying, like, bro, we are there. We are naked laying in bed. Like, we are moments from doing the deed. And she says, I don't want to have just meaningless sex. Tell me that we're in a relationship, and then, then I will definitely, I have no problem giving you my all. I think that's how she put it. And I was like, no. 20 minutes later, man, fully dressed, walking her out to her car. This was before Uber. No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't do that. You already know what time it is. I done told you. You see how many times my phone was ringing? But a lot of dudes are like, tell her whatever she wants to hear, smash. And then, like what Brother JR just said, afterwards, tell her, well, girl, it was in the moment. I ain't really mean that. That's how you get in trouble. That's how you get your car. That's how you get your tires slashed. That's how you get the windows busted out. Don't lie, bro. Tell them the truth up front. And guess what? Even that woman that said that, I'm not going to have a relationship with anyone unless it's a committed da. She circled back a year later. She circled back. She went out, got with a guy. That dude lied to her so he could smash. Like, same scenario. I guarantee it was the same scenario. He told her what she wanted to hear, kept smashing her for a while. She called him. He was cheating. Now she's, there she is, stuck on stupid, right? Circle back to me. Probably took, it was a year later. Probably took her a few months to find me. Circle back to me, and there was no talk of any of that. She came over. I mean, it was like the first time she came through. She came through and was, boy, just like that. No bullshit. Right to it. And I even asked her, I'm like, what happened to committed relationships? She was like, and then she told me a story about the guy. And I was like, huh. She was like, but the reason I'm here, the reason I want to talk, rock with you is you were up front. At least I know you ain't gonna lie. So whatever it is you say you're doing. And that's why I'm here. I respect that. Okay, cool. Fellas, women circle back all the time. They circle back. So that's what that whole maintaining your frame to me means. Be up front. This is what we're doing, baby. Not gonna lie to you, I ain't got time to keep track of the lie. So many dudes lie, they lie so much they forget what lie they told what girl. Man, I ain't got time for all that. I ain't got time for all that. You know what I mean? Brother Vikings in the building. What's good? I don't do all that. So don't lie. And then the other thing he was saying about the baby stuff, right? I'm not gonna lie to you about that, but I'm not gonna volunteer information either. I'm fixed, bro. I got the old snippy snip. I'm not trying to have any children. That's just how it is. Now, if a woman asks me about that, I'll tell her, like, well, I can't have kids. Now, I won't say that I had the procedure. I'll just say I can't have kids. And that's normally enough. They don't drill down enough. Like I haven't got to a point yet where I had to tell a woman I was fixed up front. Right? On the back end, you got to tell them. And this is what I'm getting to. Because women are like, yep, I'm on birth control. I got the IUD. I'm taking the pills. I'm doing this. I got whatever. They're telling you this stuff that they're covered. They don't want to have any kids. They get into the relationship. They really start to get into you, 3, 6 months in, 8 months in. They're really digging you now, right? So they stop. They stop taking the birth control. And it's like, we'll just leave it up to the Most High. If it happens, it happens. If we have a baby, that means it's meant to be, right? They won't tell you that they stopped. You see, there's the game right there. They won't tell you they stopped taking birth control. They won't tell you that they done fell head over heels in love with you. They won't tell you that, for them, it makes sense. So some dudes, it might look like a baby trap, but to them, it's like, no, I love you. Don't you love me? and then bam, they get pregnant. So I had that. So normally when I'm telling them I'm fixed, it's on the back end of that where they'll say, hey, I'm pregnant. And then I'm like, oh, congratulations. That's what's up. You know, you ready to be a mom? Wow, that's a big step. And then they're like, wait, no, you're the father. Then I show them the documentation. Nah, baby, I'm fixed. I've been fixed for all these years. Look, I keep the document. I got the stuff from the doctor's office down. I keep the documentation. This is when I had the procedure. I'm fixed. Right? And they get salty, but how mad can you be at me? You just tried to trap me, baby. We've been talking all this time. We're going on a year. We've been talking about how I said, I'm not trying to have any kids. I'm done. You know, like, I'm not doing that. I'm not going there. And you said you didn't want to have any children. Yo, how long have you been on birth control? How come we didn't talk about that? Right? Yo, what were you trying to do here? And, right, the 15,000-pound gorilla in the room, who's the father? Because it sure as hell ain't me. Who's the father? They don't want to talk about that part. And my thing is, I'm not mad, right? Because I'm just smashing anyway. I'm not committed. I'm not looking for nothing. We just having fun. Who's the father? Right? That's happened to me more than once. And a few times that it did happen to me, I can think of 3 instances when it did happen that child was never born. There was one time when the child was born. And then the woman was like sticking to her guns, like, it's you, da da da. I'm like, okay, DNA test, no problem. She went away, no DNA test. She went away. Didn't want to do it. She went away. So I think in that last case, I think she knew who the father was. She was just trying to run some sort of play, maybe get some money or whatever. But it's a cold game out there, gentlemen. Right? So when it comes to lying and all this kind of stuff, people running their game, I'm telling you, look out. Be careful. You get caught up in that thing, that is on you. Trey Brothers is a damn cold world, bro. That's the game. Don't hate the players, y'all. Hate the game.
These other things, I got a girlfriend, I'm dating 2-3 guys. That's just what ladies do. Ladies have no problem dating multiple men. They don't want you dating multiple women, right? It's just, come on, man. You're in a city, you're in the dating game. It's foolish to think that somebody's not spending a certain amount of time with this person. But fellas, you having issues with dating, come to Atlanta. I'm saying, that's outside of being a passport. I mean, they're still American, Jared. They're still American women. I'm not trying to get involved in all that. Hey, man, the women will say it when you're out here and you see it. You'll see women everywhere. I'm just being honest, folks. So, fellas, I tell you, and Atlanta gets a bad rap. A lot of you guys, and I'm just a new transplant here, so I can only.
So what he's saying right now, like, he's a new transplant to Atlanta. And this is just anecdotal, but whenever I move to a new city or go to a new city, I don't know if it's because it's new, you just kind of move in a certain way. You find a lot of success early. I don't know what that is. Maybe people know you're new. I don't know what it is, but when I first moved to LA, bro, my goodness, it was crazy. It was crazy. The rotation was just insane. Like, at one point it was a good 10, 12 in the rotation. It was like ridiculous. I can remember when I first moved to Miami, same thing. Hollering at people, getting on this and that. It was crazy. I mean, it was just crazy. I don't know if it's because you get to a new place, you're the new kid in town, whatever. But right now in Atlanta, and for the for the Black community, yeah, go to Atlanta, guys. If you have just a little bit of game, go to Atlanta. You're gonna get on. Go to Dallas, go to Houston, you're gonna get on. Hey, go to Fort Lauderdale, you're gonna get on. Real talk. Go to DC, you're gonna get on. Like, it's a lot going on. The culture is vibrant. So it's not about just going to the club. It's not about popping bottles. It's not about going to the lounge. Bro, you can go to spoken word events. You can go to plays. You can go to jazz events. It's like all Black. It's like, it's 100%. It's the culture. It's like you're immersed in the culture. Same thing in LA, right? There's Black Hollywood out there. So they used to be this thing called Doughboys Dozens. Doughboys Dozen in LA. And what it was a monthly film festival where Black artists, or just artists who were, in the black film world. So you could be, you know, you could be a white guy, you could be a Latin guy, be an Asian guy, whatever, but you're making urban type content. Well, Doughboys Dozen, you could just film your short. They had a bunch of shorts. You could just, you know, film your short and you people would come down. I think it was like once a month or once every other month or something like that. Go down and watch the short, you know, watch it. And then the director, the producer, or whatever, the creator was there. So when it was over, they had a, you know, Q&A, and it was just full of people from that world. And bro, it would be some fine women in there who were just in the business. You know, they're just Hollywood types. It was Black Hollywood. It was the same thing with spoken word. In LA, they have Fly Poets. Fly Poets still exists today. I think they travel. I think they go to different cities. But in LA, I think it was once a month. You can go to Fly Poet. It was at the Savoy in Inglewood. It used to be uh in Midtown, which is way safer. Like it was in Midtown. It was perfect. It was on Wilshire, and it's a really cool spot in Midtown. Like it was great. And then they moved to the Savoy, probably better for their overhead, but man, it's dangerous down there. You gotta know what you're doing. But you would go there like who was there? Man, you go in that joint, man. Everybody's looking their finest, and they have the best spoken word artists from all around the world that would be there. Like these are the events that you could go to in these cities, right? Especially like if you're doing like the black thing. Same thing in Atlanta. I'm pretty sure they got good spoken word spots. I'm pretty sure they have like art exhibits from local artists or whatever. People come in and they'll put together a little art show, a little mini art fair, whatever in Atlanta. That happens in DC. It happens down in Miami. Um, all those things tend to be a little more Latin, but they still have it down there. You know, you have Colombians that are, you know, and Cubans and Dominicans that are darker than me. So these events, man, like heavy in the culture, man, you go in there and meet some really good women who really don't go out. You go to Doughboys Dozen, meet some women, like, man, I never see you out. Like, oh, I don't go out. I don't go to clubs. I don't do this. I don't do that. This is my world. I tend to do these things. And they start sharing with you where they go and where they hang out. It's like, bro, you would never bump into these women if all you're doing is going to the nightclubs. And it's the same thing in Atlanta. Right? You just like, hey, there's a local chef who's doing a pop-up thing. Go in there. There's like little fashion shows. You can go in there. Even here in Tampa, you got culture like that. I got a friend of mine who's modeling now, and then I check her Instagram feed every now and then. It's like, oh, we're doing like this little modeling thing at some cafe somewhere. Like, oh, damn, that's what's up. So I try to support if I can. But when you go to events like that, you're gonna meet a different caliber of woman, right? And then those women realize, like, damn, it's not a lot of men. Not a lot of men, especially when you get into like the spoken word stuff, you get the more artistic stuff. That now you're dealing with a lot of guys who might be, alternative lifestyle, let's say. So they're not really into women like that, or maybe they play with boys and girls, and a lot of women don't like that. So when you're trying to go out and find just heterosexual men, black men, like those numbers begin to dwindle, and then you add in, the financial aspect. Hypergamy kicks in. It's just like now you're looking at a single digit percentage, right? Maybe 8-9% of guys are available out there, and those dudes are running their game. So, these women, like, bro, man, it's they're trying to do what they're trying to do. And the guys are out there everywhere. They're messing with the club girls. They're messing with the church girls. We haven't even talked about the church yet. They're messing with the church girls. They're messing with the artistic girls, you know what I mean? The artists and all that, the actors, the spoken word girls, the musicians. Bro, I'm here to tell you, man. Then you get into the bartenders. You get into the service world. Man, there's so many beautiful women out there. And in places like Atlanta, there's so many women. There just aren't enough men. So they are sharing. They're out there running their thing. They might be sharing dudes, but they might have 3 or 4 dudes that they're sharing. So that's why I didn't get mad when a woman was like, tried to, hey, I'm pregnant, da. No, it ain't me. Like, I physically can't do it. I wasn't mad at her for playing that game, but of course I didn't see her no more. You know what I mean? Like, she knew it. It was over. She floated away. Right? Like I said, it happened a few times. It's just that's how it works, man. It's a cold game out there.
Speak on the conversations I've had for the past week, and a lot of the questions that I have asked and what I've seen being in the area that I live in. So, fellas, you got options here. ladies, I mean, ladies, you always got options, but fellas, you definitely got options here. So anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about these videos here. Comment below, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Much blessings and abundance. Stick around for the next videos that are going to pop up on the screen below. That's where I'm going to see you guys at. Listen, it's your favorite everything. This is wisdom. Let's run it up to 1 million. I'm the best. Quit playing with me. Peace.
Shout out to Wisdom. Shout out. That was a good video. That was a good video. Like it's rough out here for in some of these cities for women, especially black women. It's rough. It's rough out there. And they got to do what they got to do. If you are a young black man, you're doing good in life. You know, you financially you're there. You have the freedom to travel. Go ahead and take a trip to Atlanta. Right? Stay in Buckhead, not Bankhead. Stay in Buckhead. Take a weekend or whatever, find something on Eventbrite, right? Find something that's going on that particular weekend. Shoot up there. Be smart now. There's a lot of crime going on. Don't get caught up now. Don't mess with the hood chicks. They'll get you caught up now. But go out there, find some sort of event, an event where you can dress up a little bit, go to Atlanta, spend the weekend. I'm telling you, bro. It's like he said. You're going to have women trying to get at you, bro. They're going to be coming for you. They're going to be coming for you. Right? So he's right about that. You don't have to go to the DR. You don't have to go to Colombia or Brazil. You can if you want to, if that's what you're looking for. You can do good in this, here in America. You need game. Even if you're a passport, bro, and you're going somewhere else, you still need game. You still need understanding. So go ahead and just, sharpen your game up right here in the good old USA. Talk to these women. Like, you ain't got to smash them all, but you'll know which ones are trying to get at you. Go meet some women, do your thing, spend a weekend there, get there on a Friday, leave on a Sunday or a Monday, or get there on a Thursday, leave on a Sunday if you want. Go to your event, go check out the stuff, go, hit some cool little restaurants, got your nice hotel, right? You dress right, you got your daytime clothes on, you go out, hang out a little bit, go see the sights. You got your nighttime clothes, you go out, network, do your thing. Check it out. Like, check it out. I'm telling you, bro, you're going to come across some dimes. They're going to want to holler at you. They're going to want to holler at you, first of all, because you don't live there, right? So they get an opportunity. It's like a pass for them. Like, well, shoot, let me go ahead and just, have me a boyfriend experience with this dude. These women out here are trying to have connections just like the dudes are trying to have connections. These guys are out here looking for a girlfriend experience. These dudes are paying for it. There are women out there looking for the boyfriend experience. Like, you hit the town, you know what you're doing, you ain't a weirdo, you got your game on point, you know how to talk to folks. Bro, somebody's going to come back to that hotel room with you. Guaranteed. You might be able to pull a girl, 3 different girls, for the 3 nights that you're there. You might be able to do that. They're going to be about it. And here's the thing. They know what time it is, bro. They're not going to ask you if you got a girlfriend. Most of them, some of them will, but the ones that are trying to come smash, they ain't going to ask about that. They don't care if you got a wife, right? All they want to know is that you're not gay. Right. And once they assess that, like, oh, you're a real dude and you don't live here. Yeah, I'm just here. I came for this event. I'm only here for the weekend. I wanted to see Atlanta a little bit. Bro, she's coming. She's pulling up. She's pulling up. She wants that boyfriend experience. For her, she can lock you down for the whole weekend. She's going to be happy. And if she's fine enough to do to be happy. But the players, nah, they trying to lock in 3 or 4, 3, 4, 5 as many as they can for the weekend. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, guys. Like, you can go to Atlanta. There are different cities you can go to. I used to recommend people go to Cali, like go to LA, go to San Francisco, go to San Diego. I don't recommend that as much anymore. Like, And if you do go to LA, man, be careful where you go. You got to understand LA is going through some sort of transition right now. It's kind of crazy out there. Make sure you know somebody from LA so you know what spots to hit. I don't recommend LA right now. Let them heal a little bit. Let them figure it out. But definitely go to Dallas. Go to Dallas. Try Houston. Houston was pretty cool, right? DC, Charlotte, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, good spots. Good spots, man. I'm telling you. When you look at places like Cincinnati, Detroit, Flint, I don't know about that. Maybe Traverse City. I wouldn't go during the winter, but maybe Traverse City in the summer. Maybe New York. Like New York is cool, but I'm not crazy about New York, but there's a lot of culture in New York. There's a lot of culture, there's a lot to do, there's a lot to think. For me, if I'm going to New York, I'm going to do comedy. It's the only reason I'm going to New York. If I'm in New York, is to do comedy. So New York is a good play. For me for work, but I'm not doing it just to hang out. I don't like New York like that. As far as trying to find someone to date someone, I'm not. I don't rock with New York like that. But those other cities I mentioned, absolutely, absolutely. You know, Birmingham, why not? Memphis, why not? You know, be careful. Like, you know, be careful in Memphis. Be careful in Nashville. Keep your eyes open, but why not? And then, you know, because America has some good women, bro. They're everywhere. You know, you gotta seek them out, bro. You gotta seek them out. And normally when you go to cool cultural things, you know, believe it or not, the ballet, man, I done came up at the ballet. Right. And I'm talking about just anybody now. I'm outside the culture. I'm outside of the black community. I'm just talking about in general. I done came up at the ballet. I done came up at the symphony. I've gone to like string quartets and stuff like that at the museum or places like that. Came up just sitting there and you know, like just enjoying the music. Came up. Going to jazz events. Came up. You know, a lot of people say, well, what about the dating events? Like, I don't normally do that. If I go to a dating event, I'm going just to see what a dating marketplace is right now, just to see how bad it is. You know, a lot of people are coming off of the dating apps and all that, and they're transitioning into, you know, back into the speed dating thing and meetups and in-person stuff. So I'll go there, you know, just to see. But, you know, I would imagine that there are more participation from attractive women in the real life meetups now than it was, you know, 10 years ago, whatever, because it's like, you know, ups and downs, ups and downs. People are getting sick of dating apps and want to try something new. So now they're going to come out. So maybe you'll have like a wine mixer, a singles wine mixer or something like that. There's going to be some cute women there. So women are showing up to those events, but it appears that men aren't. Men aren't going to those things. So I'll go to those things just to see. Like, I want to see what it's like. There's events here in Tampa, and a lot of these events are centered around like entrepreneurial kind of events, you know, high value, high net worth, entrepreneur, single meetup events. I tend to stay away from those. That's a money trap, because that's where they're trying to get real money from dudes. Like, oh, you know, $500, the guy can come. And then, you know, they're not going to really charge the women, but dudes aren't coming. So those prices are going to fall down. In fact, they'll probably start inviting guys to come for free and charging the women, because women are really out there trying to find guys and they're sick of the dating apps. But that's the only way I do the dating app things. You know, the lock and key events where they give all the lady keys and they do give all the dudes locks, and you got to go around trying to unlock, you know, find a key that matches the lock. And then you go up to the people who are running the event and they give you another lock and key. And it's like a competition. Whoever gets the most unlocks wins prizes and stuff like that. I've been to a few of those, but that was in LA, and we're talking maybe 15 years ago, maybe longer. You know, it was kind of cool, right? It was LA. It was a bunch of people there, but the women came in packs and they had their friends. It was really hard to free them from the group. So you would get numbers or whatever and try to catch up with them later. But I had the most success just going to events, watching, you know, unknown bands, up and coming bands and artists perform and go to those events. Spoken word did really well there. Go to those events, meet some really beautiful women at those events. You know, stuff like that. You know, stuff like that. So, but I would definitely check out Atlanta. If you're a young, back to the black thing. If you're a young black dude, bro, you got your shit together, man, got a little bit of game, go to Atlanta, man. Go to an event. I would definitely check it out. Be careful. Don't go to the hood. Stay away from the Bri and all that, bro. Stay away from the bad parts. You know what I mean? Decatur and all that, man. Be careful. But, you know, stay your ass over there on Peachtree, man. Stay in Buckhead. And you should do fine. You should do fine. Like, you're not gonna have to work. They will come talk to you. They will, boy, when I say get in your orbit, man, right in your orbit. They're not even gonna be shy about it. They're gonna walk right up on you. Hey, how you doing? What brings you here? And then, yo, I'm from so and so and that I'm here for this, you know, event that's going on tomorrow. Oh, you don't live in Atlanta? I'm like, you thinking about moving here? No, I'm not thinking about moving here either. Just thought I'd come check it out. I had some friends of mine said they had a good time at this event last year, so I'm here now. Bro, it's on. It's on. You're gonna get her Instagram right away. She'll probably give you her number. She's gonna want to have access to you, bro. So yeah, you become that guy. Like it's really easy to be seen in a place like Atlanta, especially when they're having this kind of drought with top tier men. Bro, you can have a good weekend. Now, people like, I still really spend my money and go to Colombia. You could do that. But when you factor in travel time and how much money, how much are you really saving? Plus, if your Spanish isn't, good, what are you really doing? I mean, you're just basically paying for it, bro. So you might as well just go, again, work on your game here in America. I get it. It's beautiful women down in South America and Central America. Beautiful women down there. But there are also some fine women here in America, bro. And if you get yourself in a situation where there's a shortage of eligible men, then bro, these women gonna come talk to you, and they will be looking good, man. We've broken down some videos from Bree the Womb Mannequin, right? I believe she's in the Atlanta area, right? I've looked at her Instagram, and she's like showing videos, just hanging out with her friends, going to different local bars and stuff like that. The ratios were looking pretty good. It was even, or maybe it might have been, slightly more women than men, just from looking around in her video. And I'm like, yeah, them dudes was sitting around being picky. So yeah, I think the guys down there can sit back and just let the fine women come to them. Then they get to pick and choose and run their game. Give it a shot. Go to Atlanta. If you do go to Atlanta, let me know. If you live in Atlanta, let me know. If you guys are watching this on Team Replay and you're in the Atlanta area, let me know. Let me know. If you're in DC, let me know. Because I'm certain that DC women share men, right? They share men. So that's it. That's the answer to the question right there, man. Will women share the right man? Women will absolutely share the correct man. He doesn't have to be 6 feet or taller. He doesn't have to have a six pack. He doesn't have to be making six figures. All those things help, but he doesn't have to be doing that. All he has to do is be eligible, have some game, and basically, be heterosexual. Like a lot of women don't want to mess around with guys who are in that alternative lifestyle. A lot of them don't. So they just don't be a down low dude, and you're probably gonna do pretty good in Atlanta. You're probably gonna do pretty good. So, and if you are that guy, yeah, you can have yourself 3 or 4 women, and they all know about each other, and they will act right. They will share you because it ain't about the money. It's really about the access and the way you make them feel. They'll go ahead and share you for a little bit until they find whatever it is they're looking for. Most women are doing that anyway. Most women are out here dating, right? And what does that mean? That means they're smashing 2 or 3 other dudes while they're out here trying to figure it out. It is what it is. It is what it is. Right? And if you that guy, she's not gonna let you know what she's doing. She's gonna try to play the role because hoping you will lock her down. It's tough out here, gentlemen. Like it is tough out here. So we're gonna keep it short tonight. I know normally we go till 7 o'clock, but I just wanted to break down that one video. There were some other videos out there I was considering pulling up, and I'm like, you know what? There's no need to beat this horse into the ground, right? Fellas, women will share you. You just have to be that guy. You just have to be that guy. Get out there and make it happen. Work on your game. That was the whole point. Work on your game. Tomorrow, we might have an early show tomorrow at 12 p.m. I'm working on that right now. I'm going to lock that in. As a matter of fact, let me check while I got you guys here. Let me check. Here it is. She can't do tomorrow. So tomorrow, yeah, I was looking at Kate. Sister Kate, she wants to she says she's open to doing an interview on the platform. We were just kind of, she has a process. Oh, can you email me? Can we do this? And she's trying to, fill out her schedule. So I will give it one more shot. She said that, like I said, she gave a soft yes. And then now she responded to the email and she was saying that she's booked up. So I will give her one more shot. And I'm going to have to confirm with her that this isn't, because she does life coaching too. Like, no, I'm not booking a session for life coaching. Like, hey, do you want to do this podcast? So I want to make sure, because a lot of people have folks that help them. So there's a lot of information that gets lost, in translation. So it's like, nah, I'm not looking to book a session for your coaching, business. Like, do you want to be on my platform? Like, do you want to come on and be interviewed on my platform and have a talk? So I want to make sure she understands that. So we'll see, maybe next week. And then if this is in fact a mix up, if she thinks I'm just trying to pay for her time and book her to talk to me, then of course that's not going to happen. Not that I'm opposed to paying people for an interview, but if I'm going to pay someone, it's going to be a Dr. Orion Taraban, or it's going to be, like a critical drinker or someone like that, and they don't even charge. So it is what it is. But I don't get mad at people trying to get their money. I don't get mad at all, and I can understand the confusion. So tomorrow, I'm not sure when we're going to go live. Maybe we'll go a little bit later. Again, I have to go to the school. Maybe we'll do 8:00 tomorrow instead of our normal 5:00 time, because we have the thing at school tomorrow at 4. So I'll do a DL short around noon, and then we'll schedule the podcast for probably 8 p.m. Eastern time. And we'll talk about who I think are going to be the new faces of the Mano Swamp, the RP message. Who do I think they're going to be? Because you're always going to have different faces, different people come up and, kind of, like this whole community kind of shifts one way or the other. So we can talk about that. I think I'll put out there who I think is going to be the next up and coming, people in the space. Currently when you think Red Pill, you're thinking Fresh and Fit, Myron Gaines, you're thinking Pearl, you're thinking Donovan Sharp, and some others. But I think there's going to be some new faces here. And there's going to be kind of a shift with the message and the community itself and what's being put out there. So we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm not sure what time, probably 8 p.m. I'm going to put a DL short out there early tomorrow, talking about a couple things. And then next week, we're going to be talking about the economy, finance, the red pill take, my red pill take on what's going on with America, with our society, with our economy, and all that good stuff, man, like with the numbers. Definitely talk about the Fed lowering their interest rate by half a percentage point. We'll talk about that all next week. So I appreciate y'all rocking out with me, man. Thanks for being here. Hope you guys enjoyed it. But yeah, my red pill take on that, man. Women will share men. They do it all the time. And you don't have to be a bazillionaire. You could be a Dusty, Pookie, or Ray Ray and have women sharing you and willing to fight over you. It is a thing. We've all seen it. And for those who haven't seen it, take my word for it. It happens, bro. And it's a sight to see. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys, man. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm DL Saint. This is I Really Want to Know podcast. Talk to y'all later. See you tomorrow. Peace.
Nothing like I've ever seen. It's just a thing of beauty.
Darn, that's the end.